Trump trying to subpoena records missing from January 6 Select Committee archives. Attorneys for former President Donald Trump requested permission to subpoena records related to 7 individuals and entities in the case against the Republican presidential candidate in Washington, D.C. Time equals 400 Ms. Greater than President Trump was charged on 4 felony counts for his actions in challenging the 2020 election results, and the records he is seeking are the ones missing from the archives of the January 6 Select Committee. By these subpoenas, President Trump seeks to retrieve certain missing records and uncover information about their disposition. The Wednesday filing reads, the 7 individuals are the archivist at the National Archives and Records Administration, the clerk of the House of Representatives, the Committee on House Administration, the successor of the January 6 Select Committee, Richard Sauber, Jonathan Meyer, Representative Barry Loudermilk, R.Ga., and Representative Bennie Thompson, D. Miss. Mr. Sauber is an attorney who has served as special counsel to President Joe Biden since 2022. Mr. Meyer was confirmed as general counsel of the Department of Homeland Security in October 2021. President Trump is being prosecuted by Special Counsel Jack Smith, who was appointed last November to investigate matters related to the January 6, 2021, Capitol breach events. The government has already brought forth more than 1,100 cases against those who were present at the Capitol that day. The representative sits on the Committee on House Administration, and wrote in August that the committee had only received 2.5 terabytes of data out of the 4 terabytes the January 6 Select Committee said it retained in its investigations. These missing records include video recordings and transcriptions of interviews and depositions. In July, Mr. Thompson, former chair of the January 6 Select Committee, had confirmed in a letter that not all of the records had been archived. From the descriptions in the letters, these materials include important intelligence and other law enforcement information, records identifying witnesses, and other information the Select Committee deems sensitive pursuant to agreements with the White House and DHS, Department of Homeland Security. The filing reads, Mr. Thompson had explained that the records were not available for the committee to archive because they had been loaned to the White House Special Counsel and the DHS. Needless to say, there is significant overlap between the Select Committee's investigation and this case, they wrote. Indeed, the letters from the Select Committee transferring these records to the White House and DHS indicate how important the Select Committee considered these witnesses and records. Mr. Meyer was sent a letter from the committee on December 30, 2022, thanking him for his department's cooperation in the investigation, and alerting him the committee was to be dissolved. Attached were transcripts made available for him to review before they were to be archived, so that Congress could adhere to the continuing confidentiality of operational details and private information. Mr. Sauber was sent a similar letter that day, with details redacted in the exhibit submitted to the court. He was asked to review transcripts and records before they were to be handed over to the archives. President Trump's attorneys also wanted answers as to whether the missing records were lost, destroyed, or altered, as well. The defense is entitled to know whether evidence has been lost. The requested subpoenas are narrowly tailored to achieve these legitimate ends, which are fundamental to ensuring President Trump's right to a fair trial under the Fifth and Sixth Amendments. The filing reads, the subpoenas targeting the clerk and archivist are intended to seek out records that may be maintained by more than one party, the attorneys explained. They also argued that the government's failure to preserve evidence could potentially emerge as a due process violation in the case, if it turns out that evidence that could clear President Trump was made inaccessible to him.